only about movies. And my friends used to tease me that you're always going to be in the movies. And I was like, yeah. Slowly and steadily, I started getting calls at home for wedding clothes. And I was like, no, I don't do wedding clothes. I only do film costumes. 1998. So Karan, I met Yash and Avanti Birla and a friend of mine, Kajal. And they all said, why don't you start a boutique? Your name's so popular. I was like, I've never thought about a boutique. It's never occurred to me. When I used to go abroad, I used to think that one day will I have a boutique? But it was always running from one pillar, pillar to the post. I was like doing so many movies. So because it was Yash and Avanti Birla, I said, okay, let's try it. And that is how I got into mainstream. So we started a boutique called Reverie. And that's in 1999, I did my first fashion show through Reverie. And because I had Rangila with Urmila, I said to Urmila that you must be a part of my show because we've had such a big hit and such a big good innings with it. So on those emotional grounds, I didn't know I was starting a trend of a showstopper. And that is how Urmila walked on the ramp. And in fact, in that show, I remember Lara Datta, Bipasha Basu, Dino Moria, they were all models in the show. And Urmila was the showstopper. And because I was coming from movies, there were a lot of the movie stars who would come to see the fashion show. So I introduced two things. One was a showstopper and one was a front row. I got this big wedding to do in Antwerp. And so having not done any wedding to doing this massive wedding in Antwerp. And from there I went on to Sheetal Design Studio where I worked again with 3 years with their team and their production. And constantly balancing it with films. And so it was like a 24-hour job. I think I was working 22 hours from 24 hours. Then about 2005, I remember it was Karishma Kapoor's wedding, and I said, I think it's time for me to do my own thing. And I got signed to direct a film for a musical script that I'd written. So I thought to myself, let me work a little bit from my house, and maybe I'll start a small brand of lighter clothes, and I'll direct a film. And costumes I'm doing anyways. So now I'm doing costumes. I'm wanting to direct a film. I'm wanting to start my own label. There's Karishma's wedding going on. So you can imagine how much work and stuff. And then I asked my brother and sister-in-law, why don't you join me? Let's start a label and we'll make lighter kurtis and kurtas while I'll direct a film and while I'll do this. So we took a place here near my house and we started making a lot of tunics and all that. We took them to Ensemble. In 2 days, I get a call from Ensemble saying they're all sold. We need more. And then another store called up and said, listen, they're really selling well, we need more. Now went that whole thing, getting more tailors and all of that. So I sacrificed the direction, got into the label. That's how I launched my label. It was in 2005. So it's 30 years this year in the movies. And it's 15 years of my label.
We would also want to know that how did Manish, the creative mind, sort of manage his business? What are the mantras you swear by, or how do you sort of, do your day-to-day, run your day-to-day business?
Well, I would think that first thing is hard work. Second thing is patience. And third thing is relentlessness. I think because I would not really recommend not studying. Though I never studied. I was always weak in my studies. I only watched movies. But I think that I learned with a lot of mistakes. Even with my label, when I started initially, I started with tunics, I started doing saris, swimsuits, everything. Then slowly I realized I need to be very specific when a brand, what is it that we make? And then I changed it to making only Indian wear. So I think that because I had not studied or not worked with a designer or not studied fashion, I had to learn everything on a job. And I think I'm that kind of person who wakes up early and says, okay, it's happened, what has happened, now I take this day fresh and work on it. And I always had the support of films. I was always a very busy costume designer and stylist. So when I made mistakes here and then I didn't have the time to think because I had a delivery of a song the next day or like 5 shootings in a day. So I just went on and on. So I think I've only worked. I really think I've only worked. Right now also I'm in office. And I think that when you work so much and things at times are frustrating, things don't fall in place at the right time, but then they eventually do happen. And then we opened a boutique. My first boutique I opened in Dubai. because I went there for a trunk show and I was offered a Dubai a store with a very big company again, which I couldn't say no to. I said, okay, fine. And then I opened a store in Bombay. Then again, I never thought I'll do clothes in Delhi. And then working, I started taking my clothes to Delhi for trunk showings, which started doing well. Then I said, no, I'm going to launch my store in Delhi as well. And I want a big vintage store. So I was the first designer in the country to open a 9,000 square feet store. That store did really well in Kutub. That area got established. So then you realize that some of when you take a decision, the world is never with you in that decision because it's offbeat, it's out of the box.
Are you looking to expand to more markets, more countries, or even within India, any more cities? Because even tier 2, tier 3 have a lot of money to spend, have a lot of appetite for high value fashion.
Well, it's a very interesting question, because if you asked me this question 4 months ago, I would have a long answer for you. But now that we are answering this after 2.5 months of being in a lockdown and starting now only to a 10% capacity, I think I've understood that what I have is good. I have 3 massive stores: Mumbai, Hyderabad, Kolkata. Delhi. I have a beauty line, Manish Malhotra Beauty. I have Manish Malhotra Jewelry. I wanted to do some stuff in home, so I felt that I started all of that pretty late in my work. But now that I've started all of that, and I just feel that I must hold on to it. I must go more deeper into it. I must be more and more creative with it. And I think that this is the time for all of us, Karunya, to realize that people don't want so much. They want less. And I think this is the year to go slow, but go a lot more innovatively, stronger, come back with a much bigger voice. When I say come back after the lockdown. So I think that's what I want to do. So I don't think I want to expand in terms of more stores or more things. I want to expand creatively now.
The lockdown has given us a lot of time to pause and reflect and really prioritize things that matter. Now that you're back in office, how does it feel? How's business doing? I mean, what are the steps you've taken at the various boutiques you have? Could you give us a picture of how things are panning out?
Of course, business is slow, and but yes, it has started. That's good news. And I was very positive that a time will come when things will slowly and steadily start, which is a little upsetting, and not little, very upsetting. And one has to be very cautious, or that while we are opening up, the cases are going high too. And before we opened the stores, I was in touch with my work family, and I would do a lot of Zoom chats with them. And I noticed that especially in my Delhi store and Mumbai store, they were very keen to come back to work, because there's one thing of the virus and the other thing is of mental health, where people want to feel good as well and their worth. And so we did a lot of meetings on Zoom chats where we would take the precaution measures on sanitization, on gloves, how many people would be allowed at one time, all of that. Like right now also, my office is only less than 10 people. Right now we're just 9 of us. So I think we need to do sanitize things. We need to take a lot of precautions on everything, because health is important here, and not the business as much as everybody's welfare and health as well. So keeping all of that, that's how we started the Delhi store, then the Hyderabad store, and now when Maharashtra government allowed 10% of the stores to open, we opened Mumbai store. We've just opened 1 workshop. I have 22 workshops. I've only opened 1.
Wow. And
2 actually, 1 menswear and 1 womenswear. And we're completing some of the orders that some people are saying, no, we are going ahead with our engagement and our wedding. But of course, when we are going to have 1,000 people, we have only 20 or 30. They're requesting to tone down the outfit. Some are saying, no, we will wear the same outfit. So it's a mixed bag. I think that people will want to feel a lot more safe before they come into the store. So right now we are catering to the people whose orders we already had, or who are ordering for August or September.
Can we expect Manish Malhotra to do a Pret line also now that people are going easy with weddings and engagements?
Well, I wouldn't say Pret, but we do diffusion clothes, but I would think a lot more detailed diffusion collection.
Do you see any, or do you expect any kind of consumer apprehensions as well, or change of behavior, buying pattern as well? Given that now people will be way more apprehensive to walk out and go to a store. Of course, y'all are doing your best to ensure safety, precautions, cleanliness, hygiene, etc. But how do you see retails happening going forward, not just for you but for the industry? Given that fittings are a must for haute couture, given that client personalization is so important, meeting them face to face is also very critical.
Well, I think the minus point here is the client will ask for more discount and take even more advantage on this situation. But like I said, this is your time for you to give back. This is your time for you to make the clients feel we are in it together, right? So profit is not what it is. It is about work. It is about being there for each other. There's also new acceptance. Earlier, the client expected you to meet them. Today, they are accepting Zoom. They're accepting WhatsApp. They're accepting that.
Yeah.
I definitely think that the business is going to be slow. It's not really going to get momentum as of now, but it's like it's slow now, and we have to be steady with it. And I'm sure there'll come a time when we'll turn around and become busy again, which I see happening more in September, October.
Let's also talk about the people working with you for so many years. You just said that only 1 or 2 of your workshops are functional right now out of 22 that you have. Have you sort of helped out artisans that you work with and small scale workers as well?
Yes, we are. So we are constantly in touch with of course, the people who work with us, and also Mijwan, the NGO that I run with Shabana Hatmi, and then there are workers in Kashmir as well. So we have been trying to reach out to everybody and sending money and doing what we can do best. At this point of time, there's nothing that I want to reduce. I don't want to give up a store. I don't want to give up any workshop, because I really believe in positivity and I really am believing that things will change. Yes, we are holding up, and I just hope that the fear of the virus doesn't keep going on and the numbers don't increase, because there comes an expiry date to holding up also. Right?
Yeah.
And like I didn't expect June to as well to get into a lockdown.